Hey, good morning. Glad y'all are here or will be here or just prove it by leaving me a little message because I love hearing from you. I had a little note here. Wee, didn't mean to bump you. There's Frankie. Hello, boy. So I got him because when dogs get lost, they have chips and they can get back to their owner. The problem is, especially in an older community, people don't like getting out and driving the dog or animal, especially if they've been rolling in poop, to the Humane Society. Then they have to wait for someone to come from the Humane Society to come pick them up. So I got him a little tracking device, a little iPad pod. What's it called? I don't know. But it's a little Apple tracker. And you can buy the little hangers separately. I didn't get him the bow collar this time because last time he was able to play rough enough that it just kept getting eaten away. And I do not know why in the world they just make them out of such soft rubber. I mean, I know it's supposed to be comfortable for dogs and be humane and all that. This sounds so mean, but I don't care if it's that comfortable when it comes to my dog's address. I want to know where my dog's at, and those trackers work pretty darn good. So if they made it out of a little tougher material, I'd be okay with that because he chewed it right off. Within 2 days, I had it hanging off of his collar, just dangling there, and he was able... Dogs are funny to me. And he's hard-headed. So, $10 down the drain. It was a good experiment, I guess. They come in a package of 4 with hooks. So if you ever want to put tracking devices on anything, you can slip them into your car, into your purse. As long as you have your phone, you'll find it. I mean, it even told me he was 1.5 feet away from me. Can you believe that? So, just saying. Okay, so where's my glasses? Frankie, what's up? We're doing. Oh, I hope y'all made it through the holidays okay. I have been going nonstop. Holidays, business is good. Holy cow. So my self-care has kind of been okay. Not what it could be, especially when these conversations that I have with you. I know it's not us talking back and forth at the same time, but I talk and then you reply. It means the world to me. I love it. So, I want to thank Anna for her Levin's $4 time. Oh my goodness. Mwah, what a sweetheart. And Dinah, you identify with me so often. It's like we're in sync or something. We could be related. I'm not quite sure. And Denise as well. We're just you and I are just kind of like, I can't remember what you called it. Cynical. Oh God, you made my day. I can't hardly stand it. But Dinah, I want to give you credit for that CeraVe thing. That was such a mystery to me because it wasn't moisturizing like it used to, and you kind of explained that. Thank you. I love science. I love research. Good job. And Linda, the castor oil, girl, I had some in my cupboard. I had it in there for a month. I love it. I love it. I put it on every night. And I've also put it on a couple times in the mornings. But it really heats up over time with my makeup. And just moves things around a little too much for me once I'm caught up. So, oh my gosh, I love it. I'm using it all over my body practically. I put some in my body lotion just in case it mixes well and can actually benefit me. I noticed, though, excuse me, there are a lot of people on the internet stipulating exactly what kind of castor oil to use, and that you can't just use any old castor oil. I'm not quite sure what that's about. I didn't know there was imitation castor oil. So if you know anything about imitation castor oil, let me know. Mine says organic on it, so but I got an inexpensive bottle that one of the church ladies uses, and the reason I did that was because she suggested it to Grandma, Nanny, and I got her one for massage, to massage her shoulders and neck. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get one of those because I like to massage my face, and it looked like it was pure stuff. And I usually use coconut oil or olive oil. Grapeseed oil is, if I had to choose, that's the one I would use because it's good for even my hair. It's not too oily for my hair if I use it in moderation. And that it was supposed to, for some reason, be orthopedic, sort of, or what's the word? It's not the word I was looking for. Therapeutic as you're massaging. And I thought, well, I wonder how that works. But she swears it's a miracle. So I had it in my closet for a month. So glad I got it. Love, love, love it. And I want to welcome Zombie. What a sweetheart. Your message was very conscientious. Welcome to our little community. I love it when we communicate with each other. I don't always have a lot of time to answer back a whole lot, but I feel like it's sort of a one-sided relationship with my little group here. Is I get to vent and you get to respond, which I really want. When, and then I don't respond a whole lot in the messages just because I'm a terrible writer. I have dyslexia, so I have just gotten to where it's too risky for me to not be very careful with keeping things really clean. However, I'm not afraid to open my big mouth, kind of a motor mouth. And Rose, you're kind of like a staple. I'm just so glad you check in. Thank you. It means the world to me. Feel like it's kind of like the queen stopping by to say hello. How are you? I just love it. You really are a queen. You're, as far as I'm concerned, you're a queen. And there was something. Darn it. I made a note to myself. I wanted to make sure whether I touched base with Bernice and said thank you for the flag issue, because I am so glad I didn't say anything. Gosh, a couple of you, maybe it was Carol and Bernice, you're both so practical. I don't know if Carol, Dinah, and Denise all may be in the business. I think one of you shared that you were. Was that Carol? I don't know. But, and Bernice, whenever you share something, it is just, I mean, kind of like grown up to grown up. Sometimes I slip off the tracks and I need a little alignment. And thank you. Thank you very much. Because getting to know my neighbor, she don't need nobody telling her about her flag. And here's karma. So when I went reorganizing my closets, you know, I do that just to relax. It's one of my therapeutic behaviors. It's really good. Like some people clean, I organize. Some people run, I organize. I found one of my old flags, and it's the one that I was gifted when I retired from the Air National Guard after 21 years, and I retired as a first sergeant. And I thought, you know, I never did anything with it. I was just saving it. And so I thought, I will gift her that flag one of these days. Still plotting and planning. Ugh. See, I didn't just accept and let go. I was just like, okay, I won't do anything. And I call it kite tail. It's like, here's my statement. I'm not going to do anything for now, yet, maybe later, right? I call that a cocktail. It's like my statement wasn't finished. This was the statement, and it was a good one, but I had a little motive going. I admit it. So anyway, guess what? I set it out. Put it on a table somewhere, on one of my tables or dressers. Anyway, Frankie got his little mouth up there, pulled it right off, and started chewing it up. Yeah, that's true. Chewed like the edges. He had a ball on it. I found it and was appalled. I'm telling you what, you can't have anything nice. So anyway, that's where I had the opportunity to laugh at myself and say, well, I guess karma told me. And honestly, guess what? So did I tell you that the wind whipped it up into a knot at the top, and it looked like it was just a ball at the top? And I just thought, oh my God, that's so funny. At least it's not flapping all weird. Well, now it's flapping like a regular flag. It just has several tears in it that are obvious.
Honey.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Honey.
Yeah? Welcome home. I'm on the phone.
Got you.
It's all good?
All good. Go.
Okay, yes, I know. Okay. So you got to hear the he voice. He knows when I'm on the phone is sort of my therapy. So that's nice. And he's in a good mood this morning. So that's lovely. Where was I? Oh, okay, so the topic. Frankie, my bed is so squeaky now. It's so old. Frankie, hey, enough. Enough. Yeah, I moved my bed around and everything when I cleaned and organized this last time. That's enough. You wanna go see? You wanna go see outside? Huh? He doesn't have words that get him excited, like treat or outside. Those words don't really mean much to him. So, enough. Enough. What's that? What is that? You want to go? No. You want to go? Frankie. You want to go? Who's he? Oh, anyway, he's gonna be a fuss bucket. You wanna go outside? You wanna go outside? Go on. Okay. So, what was I gonna tell you? Okay, so, whee, there he goes. All right. I'm back. Okay, so here's the thing. I have a lot of things going on today, and I have been on the run for a while now, and I have a very busy week. I have to crowd in more people, rescheduling times to have a conference is it next weekend? I don't know, I'm losing track of dates. And then I found out my phone calendar and my computer calendar weren't syncing up. So I'm still working on that, and it's tax time, and I'm getting things organized, but I'm trying not to over big deal it, to stay on track since there's so much stuff coming at me. And that's a pretty good lesson, is when life just keeps coming at you, is it doesn't mean you have to keep going till you break down, because I really thought I was going to have to just stop everything there for a while, like I did one time a few years ago, because I was just overwhelmed. And then I realized it was just an experiment that I could stop, duck and roll this time, instead of just stop and bend over, so to speak. So what I did was I looked at my calendar. Hey. And decided that it wasn't too heavy. It's just that I had some especially heavy clients, and I had taken on a couple more clients than usual. And then I thought, what do I mean by, oh, it's not too heavy? What's wrong with me? Shh. So I had to really look at how I was talking to myself. You ever pay attention to how you talk to yourself? You know, so, Frankie, go on. Go check it out. He doesn't like to go without me. I don't know. Anyway, it is freaking cold out, so I don't want to go out. I have to go out later for a function that I really can't get out of. It would be rude if I did. So to tell you the truth, I kind of would like to just lay low. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. But the way we talk to ourselves is a big deal. And I don't know why he's acting like that. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, let's go. Okay, go play. All right, I'm coming back. Sorry about that. See what I mean? It has been, it's not like I looked at my schedule and went, oh, holy crap, that's a lot going on. It was like, okay, I can see where there's a lot there. No wonder it's just more than normal, and it's more than normal in several different ways. Emotionally, time-wise, it just is. It's just more. So that's when I was able to say, okay, that's not going to work. I don't know why this feels different today. Maybe I'm Trying to be more polite by not butting you out of the conversation. Anyway, I really felt like I was getting close to not being able to stay at work and that I'd need a week or two off. And what I did was I quit doing laundry. I quit cleaning the floors, the sinks. I quit cooking at all. I quit worrying about it. I quit taking the dogs out in the morning if I just didn't feel like it, where I used to push myself, and the weather has been bad. What else did I do or stop doing? And I decided, instead of spending the money on a vacation and at the same time not get to see clients, since I'm wearing blue, I'm thinking about wearing mauve. Mauve. Let's see. I like it. I'm not going for coverage today. I'm going for natural because I'm going to a baby shower. There are going to be a lot of young people there and a couple older people. And I don't want to look like one of those older people trying to look young. So I'm using my most natural looking makeup. Yes. I'm going to see if I can avoid. I have several hours before I go. So I have a couple things I'm going to catch up on around the house. And then I'll touch up my makeup later to see if I really need more. Okay, so where was I? Oh. So I made a big point into looking at all of the, not just the big things that I was doing or not doing, but all the things that I was doing or not doing. And if I had, you know how they'll say, oh, what a nice expression on their face. And then other people say, yes, but check for those micro expressions. You know the difference? Very important. So I checked in with myself to look for micro expressions of what I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do. I dug a little deeper. So if you can do that, if you can explore that, I'd love to hear what you're thinking. Because I didn't realize that it would really be so helpful to me until I made myself experiment with it. And I just love what I found out. So anyway, I'm still here. I feel better. I'm not 100%, and yes, I do still need a vacation. I'm not going to say I don't. But I have a hair that grows at the bottom of this eyelash that curls out this eyebrow. It curls out like it's an actual eyelash. It's too funny. It's finally long enough for me to see it. Got it. Oh, wow, that's wild. crazy. Crazy for feeling so blue. Remember that song? Anyway, so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little surprised at how well it worked. I still need a vacation, but I'm going to be able to take it when I was originally thinking about taking it in the spring, when I can go catch the more pleasant weather, when I go somewhere. My eyebrows are really thinning out right in here. I guess it's the age thing. I'm not going to let it shock me. I'm not going to let it disappoint me. Holy cow. I'm just going to fill it in a little bit. Huh. That's interesting. Well, one of the things he said about the castor oil on the internet was that people's eyelashes and eyebrows are thickening up and looking healthier. So maybe I have that to look forward to. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Am I putting my eyebrows too close together? Huh. I'm not sure how to fill that in anymore without overdoing it, but I'm just going to mess around with it. So anyway, if you feel overwhelmed sometimes, you know, the world didn't fall apart because I didn't do laundry for 2 weeks. It just didn't. And I had already told myself if the world fell apart because I didn't do laundry for 2 weeks, I would just do what some of my clients do. They've, you know, they'll say, okay, I'm bagging up all this dirty clothes and I'm going to go buy a new wardrobe. Especially with Amazon. I mean, sheesh, with Amazon, nobody has to do laundry. They don't want to. That color just did not match as well as I thought it was going to. Oh, the eyebrows just a mess. Sometimes you got to just wipe it off and start over. Just, I'm not sure what I did there. Okay. Yeah, but we need to do something. Yeah, I feel so good about that. There's something as well that I can share with you is that there's different types of depression. There is, and it's not as common as you think. It's more rare. That where you absolutely do not have what it takes to have self-control. And I can tell you this because of my work and my successful work, is that there are a lot of people who are either raised or somehow designed or somehow found a defunct mechanism that helped them believe, and it's usually a combination of those things, that if they try this hard, then they've tried as hard as they can. They don't understand that they can push themselves harder. They don't get that. Athletes understand what I'm talking about. Parents, good enough parents, I should say, understand what I'm talking about. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. So there's a level of depression that's clinical, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the kind of depression that most people have. Most people. I mean, come on. I know people got depressed and sad because of 9/11, and there was a lot of that going on. and PTSD. I'm not talking about that level. And COVID, you know, I'm talking about the COVID type of depression. The kind of depression that says life may change, right? There's a difference between a 9/11 type of depression and a COVID type of depression. 9/11 shocked the world because it had been a long time. Since when was Pearl 40? The early 40s? Since America really took a war personally, like it was an American war. Hawaii, from what I understand, wasn't really American, but America used that opportunity to take over Hawaii. I don't know. I'm just not happy with my eyebrows. Who cares? You know, the more I overdo it, the more it's going to look like I tried to do something with my eyebrows. And I don't want that look today. So I'm just going to clean off that brush and set it aside. I'm going to get out my white powder and I am going to go around that eyebrow. Try to clean up my mess a little bit. I don't like the fact that there's not a point. I don't like just an arch. So this has to come out or be erased, period. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, I wish I had thick, bushy eyebrows to play with. But I don't. I just don't. So quit whining. Quit whining. You know what? It's just one of those days where I don't like my eyebrows. Don't care anymore. Let it go. So, excuse me. So I'm going to barely, since I'm going to wear blue today, I'm not going to wear this sweatshirt, but I am going to wear a blue sweater. And I'm going to put some pink right in here. Just because I did it the other day and I kind of liked it. And I'm going to try to make this look soft but a little darker. Get my fat part. So anyway, I had to push hard. I had to push through the usual wall I have because sometimes I get stubborn and I'm like, this is as hard as I want to try. I don't want to try any damn harder. I have had it. You know, there is that level of rebellion and teenage attitude that a lot of people fight, and that's why they think they have, that's their lid, that's their limit. Yeah. Well, no, that is old narrow pathways that's telling you, whoa, I'm really fighting this. And what's going on? It's a stop sign. Anytime we're feeling rebellious, it's a stop sign. If we give in to that behavior, I can tell you this. And it's true. If you watch TV and you see all the crime going on, wake up. Humans can be fragile. Holy cow. So don't give in to that narrow pathway area that says, I get to act like this. I get to feel like this. Take a look at it and ask yourself, what can I do different to help me be the person I truly, truly, truly want to be? Sometimes we have to work hard to make ourselves remember the kind of person we want to be, right? I would much rather stumble through, and do it wrong towards being the person I want to be than just explode and be the person that I don't want to be. Even though my brain's telling me, this is what I want. Nothing's going to make me feel better. No, that's a lie. It's a lie. So anyway, we can, as we get to know ourselves, we can start challenging ourselves. See, we have to give ourselves, a lot of people say, I know myself. It's like, well, if you know yourself, it's kind of like saying, I don't know. I'm not trying to be too dramatic or judgmental. Because I can see someone saying, oh, I know myself. I don't like that food. Or, oh, I know myself. I'm not going to feel comfortable there. Oh, I know myself. That person makes me mad. Or however it's intended. I'm not saying you don't know yourself. I'm just saying, if you're like me, if I catch myself saying, oh, I know myself, I'm not putting myself down for saying that. Or thinking that in that moment. What I'm thinking, though, is ultimately, do I know myself well enough to know whether I could push myself to do that particular behavior, maybe for a shorter amount of time, or maybe with different intentions, or maybe with an experiment in mind, to make myself more warm and inviting, or challenge myself to have a conversation with so-and-so that I've never talked to before. Does that make sense? That's all I'm saying. Yeah. I think the secret to life is not always looking for the next big exciting thing. I think sometimes it's about just, well, what I truly believe is it's about getting to know ourselves better and in a way that is meaningful. I'm just putting a hint of shade here. Not like I tried to actually do a color. Kind of like that old mascara look. Like, oh, you must be wearing your mascara all day long. I think when I go out in public, unless it's a holiday thing, I just don't want to look like I tried too hard at my makeup. For instance, I won't use a bronzer, or I should say a highlighter. I won't use heavy, because normally I just whip through my eyebrows and it's not a big thing. I can make the arch better, but I don't have arches in my eyebrows. When I was a little girl, I used to twist my eyebrows and my eyelashes out. I'm lucky I have any. And I usually like a bit of an lip liner, but I don't I don't want to sit next to someone. And I do this. I sit by people I really like. So it's not that. Who I can define where they put their blush or their highlighter, their blush, their shadowing, their foundation. I can see it each like pieces to a puzzle instead of like nature. So on camera, it can look good. In person, sitting right next to a person, and I don't have very good eyesight. I just find it uncomfortable. I might have used too much pink in my eyeshadow. Let me know if you think I'm using too much pink in my eyeshadow. I know this window makes one side look darker than the other. If I had a window on both sides, it would be helpful. But I usually like to use a brown, but I got talked into using a little more mauve or pinkish or reddish or brickish in with that brown just to give it a little oomph. And I love it. Because the brown almost stands out too much as a piece to a puzzle instead of a nice blending. And I can tell you, okay, so I went through my makeup drawer looking for, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I look so pale in my YouTube, or not my YouTube, in my videos that I do for work, in my sessions online. And so, and the lighting in that room changes because I love having the window open. So you never know what. So then I'm going to pinch these little ends. And I'm going to bend that one up to see if I can get it to curl up and stay there. If not, I may have to tweeze it. I have a couple crazy wild eyelashes, and so I'll trim them or tweeze them out ever so often. Yeah, I think that one was actually coming out, so I think that problem is solved. That's why it was acting funny. Very nice. Okay, so anyway, when was it? One of you lovely ladies brought up Estee Lauder. And you know how sometimes when somebody mentions something to you, you think, huh? It just makes you go, huh? There was a song like that back in the day. I thought that was cute. I don't know all the words to it, so who knows how dirty it was, but I think it's part of why I cut back on listening to music, is I'm such an analyzer that by the time I got sober and had time to think about the words to the songs, I was just like, damn, I don't want to listen to that. Gosh. People are crazy putting that kind of energy out in the world. I was really disappointed. So I fell in love with peace. Okay, so I went through all my makeup and I ended up thinking, as I was handling my makeup, that I had, the foundations is what I was working on. I was thinking, you know, I've been trying so hard to find the right tint so I look tan and healthy on those Zoom calls. And that it was hard to, and I was always bringing down the makeup on my neck so it would all match. But in Zoom, about a good 30% of the time, because of the lighting and shadowing, my neck looked whiter than my face, lighter, whiter. And I was just struggling with it. It was taking up time in my head. And this divine intervention was also one of those things that came along in this last couple of weeks, where I quit doing laundry, I started ordering food. I quit cleaning, and I stopped making certain phone calls. Even though I wanted to make those, it was time consuming, and I just needed a mini vacation, right? So I started thinking about this, and I thought, oh, number one, I don't look that sickly with a lighter complexion. And if I'm using a makeup that matches my complexion better, why? Oh, so I went to Estee Lauder counter years ago, and she was trying to match up my makeup, and she goes, you know what? You might want to go to Clinique. I think they're going to have a tone that's going to fit you. Clinique had, this was years ago when makeup wasn't hardly on my radar. I liked good makeup. I used Bobbi Brown, MAC, Clinique, some Estee Lauder stuff, Lancome. I mean, I'd go to the mall, pick out some things, small town mall. I don't think I got any makeup from the drugstore there for just a year or two. It was just a phase I went through, but it all ended up at Clinique because of my fair skin and sensitive skin. Or people thought because I was fair, it was very sensitive. So, and I have a lot of scarring from acne. So anyway, the big deal is my complexion was hard to match, and Clinique always put me in a very light color, and that never bothered me until this last, I don't know, 5 or 10 years, makeup is such a big deal where people are piling on layers and layers and spending a half an hour just on their eyeshadow alone. All the plumpers and fillers and tattooing and work, getting their butt filled. Oh my God. I really didn't know that world existed until about 10 years ago. I mean, I knew it existed, but I thought it was less common. I thought it was only for movie stars, not for my neighbors. I was just like, holy cow. It opened up a whole new world for me, actually. And so I really started experimenting with it a little bit. And honestly, playing with makeup is fun, especially when I've got you for company. But it's not practical for work. It's not practical for a work day. So I'm going back to, the only thing I'm really going to spend time on is talking to you. My makeup is a lot more basic. I spent more time on my eyebrows today because I was going natural, and I just am not used to that, and so I kind of fought it a little bit. And I also have to remember that if I have to work too hard at something in here, it might actually be the lighting. Oh, I wanted to tell you a story about something that happened too, speaking of lighting. So when I went natural hair, in some lighting, I'd see my hair and I think, oh my God, it's all grown out. It's all one color. And then I'd go in my bathroom and I'd see yellow at the ends and yellow around the halo and yellow in certain spots. And I'd think, oh my God, and I'd take my scissors to it to cut it out. And then after about a year, I knew for sure I cut all of it off. And I went out in public and my husband has health issues, and part of his, I don't know, mini stroke damage is that he how can I say this? Because I don't usually say this, so it's like new words. He doesn't really remember how to give a compliment. But he can be almost autistic in how he gives his thought. So we were sitting in someplace, and so we rarely go anywhere together, because I'm a homebody, and he doesn't. We don't go out in public together. Is probably what I should have said. So we were sitting there at an event, and he looks over and says, "Why are the ends of your hair yellow?" Right? And I was just like, "That's just my hair," because I knew I had just cut it. And then I was thinking, it's lighting. It's lighting. You know, actually, that was a very handy experience. It helped me recognize that sometimes it takes different lighting to see things, right? My feelings used to get hurt when he started having health issues, and PTSD from years of chronic pain. And not really finding ways to help him have the type of life that I had always hoped he could have, you know, and started concentrating more on my life and how I was going to enjoy it. It came to a point where it was like, oh, well, it's lighting, right? You can look at life as if it's a prison and your dreams aren't coming true, or all these bad things, negative thoughts. And ultimately, it's like, wait a minute. If this is all I'm given, what can I do with it? I am not going to suffer my whole life. How can I use what I have and make the very, very best of it? Like some people will say, all I have is seeds, a handful of seeds, and a freezer full of just the old frozen dinners. Well, I can get through those frozen dinners while I'm waiting for these seeds to bear fruit. But I have to be patient and I have to water them, right? So there are things I can do if I have patience with my life, that it may not feel great in this moment of transition, but just like I'm working on my yard, working on the house, working on myself, working on financial goals, it's like, wow, that takes up more and more. It's growing in my life. It's taking up more and more, so that the frozen dinners don't taste so bad. Does that kind of make sense? Life is funny. Life is funny because there's good moments where it's like, okay, this is nice. This is nice. Sometimes we have a good whole day. Sometimes we have a good few minutes. And that's just then extra little rewards along the way, right? There are so many things to worry about in this world right now. Holy cow. Honest to goodness, when I'm not going to say the word because I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube, but the C-19 events that happened and how that was all handled and how how the world handled it and how the people handled it, and then these wars that are happening and the laws and rules that we generally follow, how all that's happening. Everything seems to be lining up in a way that is kind of crazy to me. Kind of 1984-ish to me. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but look at all of the conspiracies that are actually coming true. It's like, holy crap. So I'm telling you, life may not be perfect, but I'm safe where I'm at. Relatively safe where I'm at. Things have calmed down into a level where I feel like I'm in a town, a neighborhood, and a marriage that happen to be all good enough. That's for damn sure. So take a look at your life and figure out, is it good enough for you right now? Is it good enough? Is your schedule good enough? Or are you overdoing it? I gotta go. I'm gonna straighten my hair because it is so dry out. It's not a humid cold. And I think my hair I washed it last night. I think it's just too crazy it looks a lot fuzzier in person than what it looks like on the camera even. Fuzzy, unruly, curly in some places and then straight in the others. And I would use my waver, but to get through some of this fuzz, I'm going to have to brush it, I believe. I'd take you in there, but I just had all these true confessions on here. I feel like I better decide whether I'm going to post this video or not. Oh my God. But I want you to know, I share these kind of things with you because I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only person or therapist that has my own life challenges and that wants to share wisdom and vent about work, vent about everyday life, vent about challenges, vent about successes, experiments. Life is pretty interesting. So there used to be a lady. She used to have a video channel or YouTube channel. The algorithm on my YouTube got messed up the biggest time after I cleared my history, my YouTube history, which meant it also got rid of all my channels, I think, that I was subscribed to. So I lost all those people I was following. And she used to get on YouTube and just talk for hours. She would just set it up and talk like I'm talking. She'd try on clothes. Oh my God, she would just talk. And it helped me fall asleep at night. And she just seemed so genuine. And boy, she shared some stuff. And I thought, and this was, I think it was just before the COVID thing happened. I'm not sure when I found her channel. So I don't know even how current the videos were. But I know she did a lot of lives. And I would watch those lives with people talking back and forth. And I thought, wow, that's one way to keep yourself company. And it seemed like she really benefited from it. So that was another reason I tried this. And then I saw Rose's channel. And I was like, okay, that did it. I'm going to do it. So I hope I didn't share too much. Hope I didn't scare you away. I love having you here. I love your comments. And I am going to let you go so I can go get ready. And then I'll change my shirt just for a walk out the door. All right. I love you. Bye for now.